Hey, it's Chris here with Shootwise, and today we're going to do a little bench work. We're going to customize this buckmark with some Hogue grips and a Tactical Solutions barrel and see how it comes out. So we have a new barrel to put on today, and I'm interested to see if I can use this fiber optic sight on the new Taxol barrel. I'm not sure if that's going to work or not. But I've been itching to have a threaded buckmark for a while. I already have a couple, and I have tons of magazines and everything. So I think it'd be really cool to have a threaded one. So we're going to start by disassembling this. Safety checked. During this whole quarantine thing, I'm kind of having gun show withdrawals. I haven't been able to buy, sell, and trade anything in a while. So I've always wanted a threaded buckmark, and I've always wanted to use one of these Tactical Solution barrels on one. So I ended up buying the barrel, and I've never had a URX frame, which is kind of this gentle slope at the heel. So I bought URX grips, and then I had to find a gun. And so I ended up finding one that has this nice gray frame. So I'm hoping it's going to kind of be sort of like those three colors of DG Brown guns, like the FNX, or what is the FN, the 45 Tactical, or the SCAR. Figured it'd be cool to have something that doesn't completely match like that. Pretty cool, nice OD green color. It's our stainless barrel sleeve there. Nice lug. Of course it's threaded, it's got a thread protector. Nice little front sight. So let's see how she fits here. Screws look pretty similar. I think I'm going to use the factory buckmark screws because they're kind of a matte as opposed to a gloss. So we'll stick with those. Should be able to put this one on now. Let's see. And it looks like these don't line up very well. Let's get the screw in and see what we got here. Yeah, so the back strap is a little different here. And the front is like way different. So apparently something changed in these URX frames or in the grips. Well, shit. Apparently these Hogue G10 grips made for the Browning Buckmark URX do not fit the current production URX models. Which this one's a practical URX Pro Target 5.5 inch camper. There's the SKU number for these grips. They're nicely made, but they definitely aren't made for this frame. These grips don't line up very well, especially on the front. just a little bit on the back. They're a little bit, you know, bigger, more round than this frame. Up top they fit really well. I put both on now, so the mag release works, all the controls work, everything, the clearance for the slide and all is good. So at this point what we're going to do is scribe a little line here on each part that's overhanging, and we're going to make them a little bit smaller here. We're going to try to reshape them and get them to work. So I don't have a very good option for scribing this with a pick or something, so I'm going to use a knife and we're going to try this out. Try not to scratch the frame. I think that's enough to make a mark. I guess we'll find out in a second here. Get the front. Let's pull these off and see if we got anything scribed here. So we're going to set up to cut our new shape and see if we can do this in a way that's clean. So I got my grip set here with our little marks. So my first idea is to go to the disc sander, and I'm going to see if I can kind of start cutting these contours in. And once we get a rough shape, we'll be able to shape the, you know, the top end a little bit more too. So here we go. Can't quite make this work on this disc, so I'm going to take it to this small grinder and see if we can cut our inside shape there, the front strap. All right, let's see what we can do here. So we got some cuts. This one came out a lot cleaner than this one. Put them on the frame, see what they look like. What I did on the back here came out pretty nice. There's a little relief where the frame shows, but they match pretty well, and the disc sander did a good job of just keeping those nice and straight and clean. On the front, my first pass on the grinder isn't too bad. The shape's pretty good. It's almost straight. The second grip kind of caught and bit a lot harder, so it's a little jagged. So I have a mark here where this little kink starts, and then I have a mark, that's my lowest point that I cut into, and it's actually just a hair lower than I wanted it. So I'm going to kind of smooth everything down to that point, which is why I put a mark there. So that is step one done. We're going to pull these off and finishing them a little bit better. Just to even them out. Front edge looking a lot cleaner now. So we're going to put them back on the gun, see where this little angle needs to sit, and then we'll figure out. I want to not exactly recreate this angle that Hogue did through this flat part, but I do want to give it some kind of contour because right now it's pretty abrupt. It actually pretty much matches like where Hogue had it, or where Hogue should have had it. Angle here, I think I was on the right path. I just need to straighten them out because this one looks pretty pretty good, just need to be worked on a little bit more. Alright. Take this down just a little bit. So I brought it back to the disc sander. We got this little bevel on there. On the first one I did, there's a pinhole here that lines up with a pin on the frame, and we actually contoured into that just a tiny bit. I'm gonna have to fill that a little epoxy. This one, I got just to it and stopped. So now I wasn't able to contour these. Let's see if we can. I wasn't able to contour them to the depth of the originals because of that hole. I didn't want to go too much into the pinhole, but basically just followed the stock contour and brought it down. And so now I'm going to wet sand that transition smooth on each of them, and also give the back a little bit of extra contour, break that hard edge that we put on with the file, and we should be good to go. Yeah, 120 is definitely exactly what you need for G10. Oh yeah. We made some modifications. I had to cut this front strap a little bit closer to the frame and also cut the back a little bit. I have one little nick where I have a Sharpie mark to show that was my low spot. So I'm going to clean that Sharpie out, and that's going to be minimal. So on the front edge where it actually hits the frame, it's straight, but I wasn't able to contour it out enough because we were getting into our pinhole, the pin that aligns the grips. So I got a little spot to epoxy there. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the way that they came out. Pretty nice straight lines that go right along the frame. I clipped this just a little too rounded, so you can see it kind of missed the frame a hair there. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with the way they came out. So we went from a project that couldn't be finished because the grips don't fit to custom fitting the G10 grips to fit. So now they fit my frame, so we can go ahead and put the gun back together. A threaded buck mark. Throw a can on there. And I decided to go with the short barrel. This is the 4-inch Tactical Solutions barrel. They make it in a 4-inch and 5.5-inch, and I think a 7-inch. But I wanted the short one, knowing that I was going to run it with a can, and gives me kind of a smaller overall gun. So I'm pretty happy with that. So it's a little video about customizing a butt mark. I got a little bit more custom than I originally intended because I thought these grips were going to just throw right on. But we had to reshape them a little bit to fit the frame. I think it came out pretty good. It looks pretty clean. And I'm happy with it. So that wraps up this project. It took a little bit more work than I expected, but these grips took weeks to come in the mail. So I really didn't see a point in sending them back and waiting again. Didn't see a point in selling the gun and trying to get a gun that would fit with these stock grips. So modifying it is what it took. Just a little sanding, little shaping. We got it to fit the frame pretty well. I think it came out good. I'm very happy with it. Now I can put a suppressor, put a can on my butt mark and go to town. So I'm really happy with it. It's pretty lightweight. It's pretty much exactly what I wanted. Just took a little bit more work than I thought it would. And that's it. So leave a comment below. Tell me what you're working on during quarantine. Do you have a project going, or is there something you're looking for, trying to track down, hunt? How are you dealing with finding parts or buying things online? Let us know what you think. And this is the first video that we're doing since we hit 1,000 subscribers. So I want to say thank you to all the subscribers out there. We're really sorry the content slowed down with the COVID crisis. We're trying to pick it back up here with little projects like this and different odds and ends. Let us know what you think about that. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video. And that's it. Some fitting may be required. Huh, that's some shit.